I kind of miss the chaoticness of Bali. And I don't know, I think the only thing that I miss is the people. 2015 and 2020, a lot have changed. Very memorable. Even though I was 11, but I would love to live here, especially because it's close to my family in Java.
Open your hands, stand in the light, watch it begin. We're gonna shine.
Okay, the first thing that I would love to know about you is what's the story about you lived in Bali before, born here and then moved to Netherlands, then like came back here just to holiday. What's the story of that?
Just like why?
Yeah, like how it happened and then why you here again now.
Okay. Should I also tell that I was born here? Okay. So I was born here in Denpasar, Bali, so in the old city. And I lived here for the first 8 years of my life. Simple life, a bit tough, but very simple, local. And then my mom met my stepdad and we moved to Portugal because we couldn't go to Holland straight away. So we have to kind of like take an extra step. It was already like quite a big difference between Portugal and Bali. Just the surrounding. In Portugal, it's much more quiet, and I kind of miss the chaoticness of Bali. Just the traffic, that kind of stuff, like the vendors. But yeah, then we moved to the Netherlands, and yeah, like the second time moving was a bit hard because I was still adjusting to the life in Portugal. But then suddenly we moved to the Netherlands, so I just had to make a quick shift. And then, yeah, now I'm back in Bali just to make sure that I'm back with my roots. I have like a lot of friends and family who have helped me in the past, and I just want to make sure that they still know that I remember them, and that's why I'm here. And also because when I was a kid, most of the time I was only in Denpasar or Sanur. And I never really got to see or experience like the beauty of Bali. You know, just I didn't know any further than Denpasar. That was like my home. I didn't know about Uluwatu or, you know, Canggu, Lovina. I didn't know where that was. So I wanted to see that, and that's why I'm here now. And yeah, that's pretty much.
When you were a kid, you didn't go anywhere.
Sorry?
When you were a kid, you didn't go anywhere.
When I was a kid, I didn't really go anywhere. It was usually only Denpasar and Sanur. And I would go to Java because my mom's family lived there. So yeah, it was a bit of a tough life because it was only mom and I. But she really made sure that I had a good childhood. So like after school, we would go to Renon. It's like this huge park with a monument in the middle. Just eat grilled corn or siomai, that kind of stuff. And yeah, just pretty simple life. And making sure that I just had a good life, she did that. It was really...
So at 8 years old, you moved to the Portugal,
Yeah.
but like the plan was to move to the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you feel like something like difference? You told me about the quietness about the Portugal, but like about the another lifestyle here and then in the Europe, especially in Portugal and the Netherlands.
The difference.
Yeah.
So, well, the difference definitely like the mentality of the people. I think in Europe they are more open. Like in Indonesia, I can see that with my mom. She's very close. Like, I think here everyone cares about someone else's problem, trying to help them, but they ignore their own problems. And I think that's like with every people in every country, but I feel that in Europe they are more open to talk about it, making sure that it's not a taboo. especially in the Netherlands, people are honest about a lot of things, which in Bali, it's not like that. People are more I don't know. For example, okay, with my stepdad, if we have like problems with financial problems, he will tell me that openly. But my mom, when I was a kid, she would never do that. You know, everything was okay. You know, she always made sure that I never found out that she was struggling. I knew that she was struggling, but she never really showed that. And my dad, he is just very open about it. Like, listen, at this moment we cannot do this, and that's okay. But in the future it will be, you know, better. That's like an example. And also about mental health. You know, I don't talk about that here. And talking with my mom about it is a bit difficult because she doesn't really know what that is and just thinks like, oh, you're just stressed. You know, it's just you're just having a bad day. And in the Netherlands, they're more open about it. You know, especially talking with friends, just people your own age. So that's the difference. I think people here are more reserved, and yeah, that's like the big difference. Yeah.
So, do you have like a special routine that have to change because like you were here in Asia, in Bali, then you have to move to the European part, which is like I think a big difference in your life, you know?
Yeah.
So do you have like the routine that you usually do, but then because you're moving in the Europe, you changed it?
Oh, I have to think about that one. I can't really remember a specific routine. I don't remember that. Especially maybe because I was a kid and I would just do normal kids things, like after school going to tutor lessons, swimming lessons. I did Balinese dancing. I missed that though. That was really cool. But I think it's not really a routine, but it was something that happened quite often. So I have asthma, and when I was a kid in Bali, I had like a lot of attacks. And when I moved to Portugal, it stopped. So that was, I think, the biggest change that I noticed, because it's about my health. But a routine, I don't really remember any.
How about like the eating behavior? Maybe like in here you often eat outside, but that's a routine.
Yeah, that's a routine. Yeah, okay, that's a good one. So I miss the normal routine, like indeed eating outside. Here you have vendors everywhere. I think 24 hours, I miss that. In Portugal, we live in a small village, so it's usually my mom who cooks. She wasn't the best cook at first, but she learned. She's now like the best cook I know. So when I come to Indonesia, the first thing I want to do is eat bakso or go to a warung and just eat something. I just really miss that from Europe. It's just different. Here it's very casual. You sit at the warung and it just feels very different than eating at a restaurant. So I really miss that. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. You like tell me like difference between like the three cities that you've been living here in Bali and Netherlands and in the Portugal. Like the different like. Here a bit chaotic, there not so chaotic. About your friends, is it easy to meet friends there? Is to meet people there is easy, but like like everything.
So in Bali, I would say I didn't have a lot of friends. So I was usually with my mom. She took care of me, and she just made sure that I was doing all these outside activities from school, but I didn't really make a lot of friends. I'm very shy, and still am. And then in Portugal, well, we live in a village, so everyone knows who you are. Especially when you are the only Asian in the village. Everyone knows who you are. What was a bit hard was the religion part, because everyone in Portugal was Christian, and I grew up in a Muslim household. My mom was never strict on me when it came to religion, but obviously I identified myself as a Muslim because that's all I knew. But it was hard because when you come to Europe, you see all this negativity around the religion of Islam, and it's just very hard to witness that at first. You kind of get scared to show who you really are, but it's part of you. That's what I found really hard in Portugal. And yeah, that's part of identity that I try to hide. But then, people will find out eventually, and thank God, most of them were really kind and open. And there was like someone who was a bit mean about it. I was in scouting in Portugal, and it's very religious scouting. And we went to church, and the kids were like about to pray, but I'm not a Christian, so I didn't want to. And the pastor, he said to me, "You don't have to, this church is to everyone, you're open, you just sit over there, you don't have to pray." But the leader who was with us, she said to me, "No, you go and pray now, because this is church, you need to respect it, this and that." And I just cried my eyes out. I think the pastor got really mad at her though. So that was really hard. But then I came to the Netherlands, and that was all different. Because there you have every ethnicity. You have Asians, you have like a lot of people from Turkey. Like everything was very mixed, diverse. People weren't scared to show their true self, and it just felt very liberating in a way to live in that very open culture. So that was a good thing about living in Holland. Yeah.
How about the thing that you kind of miss in Bali that you haven't found in other two places?
What I miss from Bali?
Except the food that you told me.
Yeah, the food that I told you. I think the thing that I miss the most are the people, my friends and families, and just a way of living in a way. I feel very relaxed here, very relaxed, and I don't know, I think the only thing that I miss is the people, because this is like the place where I feel connected to the most. It's where I was born, and I still identify myself as Indonesian or Balinese. That's what I miss.
Okay, I heard that from some people that is living in the Netherlands, when they want to go out and they text their friends, "Hey, do you want to go out this weekend?" And they're like, "No, I can't. You have to ask me for another weekend." So something like that.
Yeah.
But like here in Bali, "Hey, do you want to go out tonight?" "Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go." Can you please explain about that?
Yeah. So the Netherlands and Dutch people are very busy, and I too am busy. I have school, and then I have to work at a restaurant or at a grocery store. You have your homework, you have your school projects, and you also have your social life. But yeah, you have to make appointments. It's really stupid, but yeah, you just have to, because you have your sport. If you have a tournament that weekend, you have to ask for another weekend. And here in Bali, they just like, "Oh yeah, can you go or not?" If it's a yes, cool. If it's no, okay, then I'll just ask another friend. In Holland, they're just more structural, organized. And in Bali, people are just more laid back. "Oh, if you can't, okay, cool, then I'll just stay at home. Let's just, not a problem." Yeah, Dutch are very busy, have a lot of things that they have to
That I think is really great deal of me if I move to the Netherlands, because somehow when I got bored, "Hey, do you wanna go?" Yeah, sure. But now how can I make friends, Yeah.
Now you can make friends, yeah. At school.
Yeah. Okay. So you moved to the Netherlands. You live in the Netherlands right now, yeah? You came here for holiday, right?
Yeah.
Like, is it your first holiday here or a second, or like you've been to back in Bali like for a lot, many times?
So the last time I came to Bali was 2015. So this is my second holiday in Bali. And yeah, but I do go back to Java every year to see my grandma and grandpa. To Bali is usually so very expensive, so that's why we go to Java only. And this is my second holiday here. And if you see like the two differences between 2015 and 2020, a lot have changed. It's so much. We went to Ubud last month, and it just got very busy. And 5 years back, it was still there's not much to do. Like at the rice field, there were almost no warungs, no vendors, and now it's just full of cafes, which is not a bad thing. It's good for the economy. But it's just like the thing that I noticed. And also like Eco Beach. Yeah, 5 years ago, there was like nothing. Canggu, very relaxed. You had a few stalls where you can rent a surfboard and can drink or eat, but further there was like nothing. And now you have like this really big beach club. I don't know what it's called, but it looks really nice. And it just got really busy, but it's still laid back though. It's not overly populated or like, yeah, that's a big difference. Yeah, it's a small island, so.
The next, I would love to know about your story about you won the karate championship. It was like you did it here. You practice from your kid, or you practice in the Portugal or Netherlands,
I started karate in Portugal because I've always wanted to do martial arts, but in Indonesia I just couldn't. So in Portugal it was really close by, and my dad was like, okay, let's go. And I loved it. It was more for self-confidence. I was a shy kid, so I wanted to make sure that I could defend myself or at least stand up for myself mentally. And then, yeah, from there, I think 2 years or a year, I think 2 years later, my teacher asked me if I wanted to participate at the World Championships in Madrid. And I just thought, why not? Let's do it. And so, yeah, we went to Madrid. And yeah, apparently I did so well that I won gold. And the funny thing is, in one category, which is fighting, I had to fight against a Dutch girl. So I just found it very funny because later I went to live in the Netherlands. Yeah, it was quite an experience. Definitely boost my self-confidence a little bit. And I realized that, okay, I can do this. And yeah, it's very memorable. Yeah, even though I was 11, still, you know.
Yeah, that's like one in a lifetime reward, you know?
Yeah, it's one in a lifetime.
Okay, this would be the last question. I heard from our conversation before that you can imagine yourself living here in the future. Even he wants it more than you.
Yeah.
So can you please like maybe tell me a bit of that kind of future? Like what we would do here, or like do you really want to live here, or like you've been living in like many countries, so yeah.
Yeah. I would love to live here in the future, and yeah, especially my boyfriend. But I just still don't know what I want to do for a living, so I need to find that out first. That's why I have to study first. And I'm going to do a study where you're gonna learn how to analyze trends, making new concepts, and a bit of marketing. So I hope that I can find a job in that category in which I would be able to do this in Bali. But I would love to live here, especially because it's close to my family in Java. And if I would make a good living, hopefully my mom can come back to Bali or at least in Indonesia, and I can help her out with like financially. Yeah, just going back to where you come from, and there's like a lot of opportunities in Bali. I can see from there's like a lot of expats, and they show you that there's a lot of opportunity. Besides, having an office job, you can just work for yourself, and anywhere in the world. So if I'm able to do that, why not in Bali? Right? Why not in Bali? It's a beautiful island, a lot of opportunities, and there's also like a lot of co-working space, so you can always branch out your network. It's, I think, the perfect island if you want to start something for yourself. Yeah.
Cool, amazing. I love the answer. Yeah. I think that Bali give chance to people to do what they love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what. I mean, if you can just work from your computer, do it here. You have a lot of people who does the same, so you can exchange ideas, maybe do the same projects like you're doing. I think that's just a cool idea. I'm excited. In a few years, I'll be here.
Okay, so evening, you're still studying or in the?
Sorry?
Are you still studying in Netherlands or you working there or?
I'm going to start my study this year in the Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like 2, 3, or 4 more years.
4 more years, and then hopefully I can come back.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope I wasn't